Why am I always happy? One of the main reasons is I don't do shit that I don't like doing. Welcome to this episode of the Limitation Is A Mirage podcast. So this week, happiness has come up a lot. I've talked to people about different reasons that they should be happy, different ways to become happy. I've just noticed it's come up with clients, it's come up with people in my circle, it's been all over my social media. So maybe it's just cognitive bias that I'm talking about happiness and I'm thinking about it. But one of the things came up was a few people have asked me, like, why am I always happier? And I keep trying to explain this to people. I'm not always happy all the time. I'm not always positive all the time. But I do things daily that make me happy and make me positive. And one of the things I said to one of the people I was chatting to was that one of the reasons I'm happy is because I don't do shit I don't want to do. As best I can, I will avoid doing stuff that I don't like doing, I don't want to do. So even before this lockdown happened, I used to avoid going out. I used to avoid going to parties, to weddings, to everything because I just don't enjoy them. And at weddings, I used to say to people, like, why would you want me there? I'm not going to enjoy it. And you'll see it in my like depressed looking face whenever you're taking your photos and you look back for years and you just see me standing there and I look like I hate my life. Because I don't want to be there, so I try my best to avoid it. And a lot of people that would have invited me to weddings, for example, would say, like, the surroundings are beautiful and amazing and you'll get out there. And that does work a wee bit. It gets me out and I go and I wander around and I might disappear for hours on end into the forest or wherever it is. So I thought about this. I haven't always been like this. I remember having an ex and she used to make me go to mass on a Saturday night or a Sunday morning. And I have no interest in being a mass. I fucking hated mass. As a kid, I hated it. Never mind as an adult, whenever people were talking at me and I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? This is madness. So I hated being there, but I just felt it was my duty to be there because she wanted to be there. And then as I got older and started to think about it, I started to think that why was it my duty to be there where she wanted to be whenever she knew I hated it? And to be fair, like, she was one of them religious people that just had to do it. It just was part of her family. I don't think she really liked it. She was lying to herself and everybody else. But because she had to be there because of her family, I had to be there as well. So what the compromise should have came with maybe getting to, like, whenever you were a kid and you got to leave mass after the leaflets went out or at Holy Communion or whatever. But the point is that I did that and I hated doing it. And then I tried to make it interesting for me. I would practice observation and I would ask the priest really awkward questions whenever he was shaking everybody's hand outside. Like, I would ask about the sermon or the mass or whatever it's called. There's loads of stuff like that. Like, I hate doing, like, paperwork. So I created it, like, I wrote a book. So you'd imagine paperwork would be something I like, but I don't like it at all. And I have templates made for everything. So I will work really hard for a couple of hours to get myself into a position where I can just use templates to cover everything I need to cover. And, like, my invoices are templated. The idea for my posts on Instagram and stuff, I have, like, a template in my head for that and wrote in my Google Keep, whatever it's called. Google Keep, that is what it's called. My templates are there, so I just go in and I can just change some of the text and fill it out. That's if I'm writing something big. Generally, I'm just writing off the cuff based on whatever it is that I'm talking about. So back to happiness. It's such a simple term. It's such a simple thing to say. Like, I don't do shit that I don't enjoy doing. There is going to be stuff that you have to do. I'm lucky I don't have kids, so I don't have to go to parent-teacher meetings or I don't have to take them to the park or anything like that. But probably if I had kids, I'd probably enjoy spending that time with them. So that wouldn't be something I would hate. But in my head at the minute, I just think it was something that I wouldn't want to do. So I don't have to do that, so it doesn't matter. But there's going to be things in your life that you have to do. So if there are things that you have to do that make you unhappy, then try to start putting things into your life that make you happy. So I do that constantly. I'm meditating, I'm out in nature, I'm meeting people that I have fun with, that I'm comfortable with. I go to the gym, I stretch, I do all this stuff that I enjoy doing. Because it washes away all the shit that I don't like doing, like paperwork, for example. It's the only thing, because I just spent today doing some paperwork. So whenever it comes to happiness, so people ask me why I'm happy all the time, positive, everything like that, or full of energy or whatever. But it's because I do things like I'm quite full of energy because, like, I just ate about 1,000 calories before I came on here, so I'm feeling, my body feels that, it feels energized and the nutrition within that is, like, buzzing through my body and I feel a bit psyched. I've just noticed that because I'm talking really fast and I probably should slow down a wee bit. So I do things all the time. I meditate. So when I'm thinking about meditating and slowing down, I'm using the wee relax protocol that talked about for years. I'll send it to you if you send me a message, just to bring me down and get me relaxed and calm. Because my version of happiness is being relaxed and calm. Like yesterday, I sat for about 15 minutes just listening to piano music just on the floor in my living room, and just enjoyed the quietness of the house, and I could hear the rain, and everything else was just switched off. And I'm able to just be with myself. I'm quite content in my own company. I also avoid people that bring me down, that cause me stress, that aren't like bringing positivity into my life as much as I can. So everyone I hang about with doesn't bring positivity all of the time, but there's always something positive that they bring. So whatever's going on, I know I can be with them and just, I don't have to talk. I don't have to like put on a show, or whatever it is. I just know I can be around them and I'm comfortable around them. Whereas there's people I will just avoid that I know that are a nightmare to be around. They like leech off me and it just drains my energy. So as I've progressed in my teaching and my understanding of what I do and how it all works, more and more I've just distanced myself from the people that just take, and I'm more available to the people who are willing to do a bit of give and take, which is what life's all about. So happiness, I talked about it in one of my videos during the week about 3 like tips to become happier, and there's a million tips. Like if you just Google, I'd imagine if you Googled now 3 tips to become happier, you get loads of posts. But one of the things was listen to a song that you like, so it makes you upbeat. Like I listen to Stars from Les Mis because I like singing and it gets me a bit pumped and psyched. I love being out in nature. I like reading. I read like all types of things. I read things that I need to sit with a dictionary open beside me, and I read things that are quite easy to read. I read things that I can learn from, and things that have nothing to do with anything that I usually would look into. So there's, I don't know, like three things that make me happier. Meditation. I love to meditate because it gets me to like clear out the clutter in my mind. A less cluttered brain is a happier brain. So that's basically just want to get across that I am happy and positive a lot of the time, and most of the time, especially when you see me on video, I'm not going to come on and unless I'm like in a good flow and a good state to come on. It would just be less entertaining if I'm all fully mellowed. But I do things daily that make me happy, make me excited, make me positive. So even if you have the shittest day ever, as long as you like listen to a song that you know that is upbeat and you enjoy, or if you're having the best day ever, then fucking listen to it as well, because it makes you more psyched and even more pumped. So that's just what I wanted to get through today, just about happiness, and it's come up a few times this week, so I thought I would just address it in this podcast. Also because I had no other idea what I was going to talk about today. I'd actually forgot that I had a podcast, and it was a Tuesday. So happiness was the way I went forward. So I hope you're happy listening to this. I hope you get happier listening to the next ones, or whatever it is that you get up to. So have an amazing day, whatever you get up to, and I will speak to you again soon.